2026 meeting starting at 5:31 p.m. Just a notice to the public, members of the public who wish to view the meeting may watch the live stream of the Carson City Advisory Board to Manage Wildlife meeting at carsoncity.gov /Cornelius and by clicking on in progress next to the meeting date and or by tuning in to cable channel 191. I would like to have a roll call. Zach?
Chair Fleming,
Here.
Vice Chair Beamer, Member Dimmitt,
Here.
Member Stewart,
Here.
and Member Thompson. We have a quorum.
All right, perfect. From the roll call, I would like to jump to Pledge of Allegiance. Kurt, you want to lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic to which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to public comment. I'll take any in person. Any online. Okay, since we did receive this from the Churchill County Advisory Board to Manage Wildlife, it is in a writing to respectfully propose the board consider adopting regulations authorizing the controlled use of trained blood trailing dogs and unmanned aerial systems, parentheses drones, for the purpose of recovering legally harvested big game animals within the state of Nevada. I guess we could just keep this open right now, for this is the place to talk about it as public comment on how the board sits, feels, ideas, thoughts.
I just have a question as to how this is going to be enforced.
I don't really know how much it could be enforced is the issue, right? And then I think the biggest concern I see with this is just the opening up of the door, right, with the drones. And yeah, what is it between catching someone with the drone that's out there saying, hey, I shot one and got this, instead of I'm using
scouting.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of where I see the trained blood dog. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
we
kinda
talked
one of
about
those-
this in the past, and if there's some sort of certifying, there actually are certifying bodies out there for this type of training. And if that was something to be adopted, I wouldn't be against it. But as we discussed, there's too much room for abuse in regards to drones, especially how they want thermal. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the dogs. The drones are what's kind of setting me back on this also.
So,
So are there groups that certify dogs to do this?
yes.
There are groups that do that, yeah. And it's so like in Africa, they use like 2 dogs. Most of the time they're Jack Russells or other type of small dogs to trail. I don't know what all they're using in America. They're probably using hounds and stuff more than anything.
So do we have any appetite then where we want to, because we can't really take any action here, but we can respond back as a board to them,
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
Is there something that we want to put our name on it in regards to, yeah, the trained blood trailing dogs, but not the unmanned aerial systems, or is this just something that we want to let stay
What-
that we're not for the drones, but we're really not going to throw our hat in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, if this is being discussed at the commission meeting, or if they want like a response from us, I mean, pretty much we're with the right certification. I think we're all good with the blood trailing dogs for the most part. Yeah, go ahead, Doris. Well, turn your mic on, Doris.
If they can't track a large animal through the rocks and stuff, how are they going to track a small dog?
So the dog actually tracks the scent of the blood.
Of the blood.
So the dog will follow the scent and alert somehow, either barking or waiting for the handler to show up. So that's all they do. They just track the blood smell.
I think
the ground.
she's saying along the lines of, if they can't track that, how are they
How
going
they
to
gonna
train a
recover it?
dog and get that, and they're going to find it and do that, and then how are they going to get the dog if it gets on the trail?
You're gonna have to figure that out on the fly, I think, but yeah, I don't
Because
know. I mean,
this
it's a
is
good question.
proposed for large game, I'm assuming, so we're talking deer and elk and
Mhm.
bighorn sheep and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I almost think whoever's at the Reno meeting, because that's the next one, right? I think we just wait for this to get brought up, and then we can voice our opinion as the board in regards to on the line of supporting trained blood trailing dogs with the right certification, right? And that we don't support the unmanned aerial systems, if everyone's okay with that. All right, perfect. Yeah, so I think we're gonna lead into that in the next two topics, so we'll bring that up again on who's gonna go there. Any last call for public comment? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to item number 5. For possible action, the approval of the minutes from the March 11th, 2026 Carson City Advisory to Wildlife Management Board meeting. Do I see a motion for approval?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second.
All right, we have an approval from Danny, Mr. Thompson, and second from Kurt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Passes unanimously without Rob being present. All right, on to item number 6 for discussion only. An update from attendees of the March 13th and 14th, 2026 Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioner meetings. And that is me. The Boulder City meeting. Hold on, let me get my notes up really quick. So really had some interesting things. I mean, to hit on the topics, Daniel King did show up and fight his case for a sub-guide being re-entered. He lost that. It was a little interesting because the board was taking the approach of if you're a sub-guide or a guide, this is the standard on how you get treated for these infractions. But when he got penalized for that infraction, he wasn't a sub-guide or guide yet. So he was trying to make that argument of, I wasn't there yet for that, so I don't know if I should be penalized as that. And they recognized it, but continued forward saying at that time and approach that you're going to have that. There's the idea of the guide, so you maintain and hold that in value. So they upheld the penalty. Tyler Hubbard did not show up, didn't discuss it, and dismissed it. So they just dismissed it, and by dismissing it, can no longer take any more action with the board. So that was handed over. The scoped auto range, they supported the denial of the ranging scope, so they didn't want to move forward with it. Same with the thermals. And then one of the big things I took from it was just how many cow elk tags are going to be moving up. The big 6 units really, and a major cause for a significant cow elk tag increase is the fires that they've seen out there and the trends from the data that they've noticed in years past when they've seen, I got to try to remember this, 2 to 4 years of growth. It seems to be a pop in the population from there. And that's what the trend was showing. And then with the increase with the fire on how it decimated it, they just increased a lot of tags, primarily in the unit 60, 061, 071, 076 through 091, 02, 072 to 074, and 111 to 115 will be cow elk. Increases, predator fee $1.1 million raised, 63%, $723,000 is for lethal removal, and upland bird contributions of $60,000. It was kind of interesting. They had a Utah State study there, a professor and a master's or PhD student who was discussing the traits seen in mountain lions on between sheep, cow, deer, and horses, and really just kind of boiled down to whatever they have a preference on, they stay to, and it has an increase on what's present. So more sheep, they go for sheep, more deer, they go for deer, more horses, they go for horses. So just opportunist hunt, and then what they see is present is what they have. What was kind of interesting I got from that was there was really no crossover. It was like 95% of the food they ate was what they ate, and then it was 5% of the other.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty interesting. And that's really all I had for major updates from the Boulder City, March 13th and 14th, 2026. Anyone else? Anything else? Okay. We'll keep on moving then. We'll go ahead and jump over to number 7 for discussion only, an update and activity report on the Carson City Urban Wildlife Committee. That's usually Rob. Does anyone have anything?
No.
I did think just one interesting comment, and if anyone has any opinion on it, seems that the rattlesnakes have had a bigger presence as of recent, and there's been noticeable more bites. Saw a report on that, so I thought that was interesting in some relation to just the colder weather drawing out. So they're kind of, I don't know how to say it, not really moving as much, but I thought that was an interesting report that I read.
Where was that at?
It was on one of the local news websites. Yeah, Colo, one of them. But yeah, they were reporting out on it, so I thought that was interesting. All right, moving on to item number 8 for discussion only, reports and informational. Did anyone have anything on the board that they wanted to pull for 8A to 8E? I kind of just looked down. They seem pretty straightforward from what we normally see.
Yeah, no, there's nothing.
Nothing really stuck out to me. All right, we're cruising along then. All right, we'll move on to item number 9 for possible action, the consent agenda. Did anyone have from 9A to 9N anything they wanted to pull?
So, from the meeting, that pretty much the 9L is like, they're not going through with that?
Yes. Yep, that was from the meeting. They had one person say they would support it, but if there others within the board didn't support, they were okay with not supporting it. And I think that was the individual from the younger individual from the Lovelock area, if I remember correctly.
Pull the quotas.
Yep. So I was gonna pull 9I and 9J, just because we did on the other ones the appeal for the sub guide license, and see if there's any discussion that anyone wanted to have, and then we could go ahead and pull 9M as well, the big game quotas
And 9N also.
and the black bear quota. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
pull both of those.
Sound good? All right. So before we go ahead and do that, do I hear a motion to support consent agenda items 9A through 9H,
H?
and then 9K through 9L?
I make a motion to approve agenda items 9A through 9H and 9K through 9L.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, passes unanimous. So really just wanted to pull these just to stay consistent for 9I. And I don't have much discussion. I think I know where the board's gonna be and how we lean, but I just wanted to leave it for anyone here or if anyone within the public, because I can open this one up for the public to have any opinion on 9I, the appeal for Mr. Braxton Bilbao at the May 8th, 2026 meeting of the Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners. Mr. Bilbao, I think I'm saying that right,
Something like that.
is appealing the denial of his sub-guide license.
I have nothing.
That was another one that seemed pretty cut and dry.
I have nothing.
All right, all in,
Did he do something to make it so that he's being denied this license? Or is it just, there's too many of these sub-guide licenses and he's not,
No, that was an infraction, yeah.
oh, okay.
Do we? That's a good question. I actually don't know that off the top of my head. Do we limit total sub-guide and guide license? Yeah. Okay. I think anyone's allowed to
Do
go
you have any
do it.
background on that one? On the Bilbo? All right.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve 9I and the support of the denial of his sub-guide license?
I motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, 9I passes. 9J, appeal to Mr. Paul Padilla at the May 8, 2026 meeting of the Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners. Mr. Padilla is appealing the denial of his sub-guide license. Similar, just staying consistent. Any open comments to the public?
His was another infraction, wasn't it?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. I had a feeling this is how that was going to go, but wanted to stay consistent. Do I hear a motion to approve 9J, the denial of Mr. Padilla's sub-guide license?
I make a motion to approve item 9J.
Here, a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. All right. Now let's move on to consent agenda item 9M. Commission Regulation 26-11, big game quotas for the 2026-2027 seasons. At the May 9th, 2026 meeting of the Nevada Board of Wildlife Commissioners, the commission will consider and may take action to approve setting regulations for the number of tags to be issued for mule deer, antelope, elk, moose, bighorn sheep, and mountain goat for the 2026 through 2027 season. And like I said, the biggest thing on this one was really just the NDOW supporting and providing evidence and background on why there was such a significant increase in cow elk tags in those certain ones. And through the discussion, the gentleman from the Elko side, considering a majority of that is within the Elko region, had a good amount of questions. And I know they had a subcommittee meeting the day before this was all said, and I guess they had some pretty productive conversation during that as well. And ultimately throughout it, I felt that they provided enough information and justification just using the previous year data and the trends that they've seen and given the impacts that they've seen over in those units with the fire, that it was worth supporting, and then the board supported as well. But primarily through what we've discussed already, right, a lot of them stayed just about the exact same.
Yeah, there's some variation compared to last year. Well, so yeah, but I mean, there's still significant draw opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I just got a quick, Carl. Good question in regards, I was looking at the mule deer for 92, 94, and then 95. I know we had a reduction last year because of the population. I was just wondering, are we seeing even a more reduction in recruitment and number of fawns per does?
I think you know the rules, but if you don't mind coming up and state your name for the record.
Carl Lackey, Department of Wildlife. 192, 194, 196, Carson front. Yeah, we are recommending small reductions in both those units again this year. 194, 196, any legal weapon quota is remaining the same.
Mm-hmm.
192, 192 is where we're recommending the decrease. Those herds both got hammered much more than we accounted for in the models back in that winter. Some of the metrics were starting to come up, like the fawn to adult ratios. Anecdotal reports from hunters, along with some of the metrics, like the success rates and the 4 points or better, those are still fairly low down. And I don't feel comfortable raising it yet.
Oh, Yeah.
The last 2 years, all I've heard from the hunters, is that they're just not seeing any deer in 192. They're having a hard time finding them. The junior success, last 2 years, 27%, 29%, that doesn't bode well.
Mm-mm.
Now, with that said, I struggle to get survey time for the Carson front. Seems like 1 year I'll get a fall survey, not a spring, the next year I'll get a spring, not a fall. Last year I did not get fall surveys at all. We were down 1 ship, and, that ship spent most of its time in the eastern region.
Mhm.
And then for spring surveys, I got, and I'll explain this, but very little time in 192 and 194, because we spent the hours over in 291. I did spend just a brief amount of time kind of hot spotting it in 194, classified almost 200 deer. Fawn ratios were not bad, but I think what we're still seeing is a recovering population from that really hard winter. And, fawn recruitment has been decent the last couple of years, but there are a lot of younger age class animals. I'd really like to give it another year or two with lower quotas and let those populations recover.
No, yeah, and I agree with you 100%. Living up on the west side, when we get the herds moving through the yard, and I noticed my first move here 10 years ago, there'd be 30 big, and like half of them big bucks. And I think last year I've only saw 2 like decent 4-pointers. And so I was just curious that, like, if it's just because of the weather event, or we have some sort of health event, or is just this natural selection going on as far as a reduction, because there is obviously a reduction in the herd.
Well, a combination of things. The hard winter obviously took its toll, and I will clarify, 194, the quotas are remaining the same.
Yeah, but yeah, they don't have it on here though.
But they're still depressed.
Yeah.
Where they were several years ago. 194, the quotas are almost down to where 192 were.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty low. But a combination of things. One is just constant development on the Carson front. We have, 2,500 homes going up now across from Cabela's and that new,
Oh, right, yeah,
Carson Road development.
yep,
And that is right where
yeah,
the critical deer winter range
Yeah.
has been, for decades.
yeah, for 96, Adam, that P vine.
Combination of that, combination of, and you guys see it here in the West Carson, the western Carson Valley along the foothill corridor, and in West Reno. A lot of those deer, including the mature bucks, never leave those residential areas.
Mm-hmm.
See more and more mature bucks hanging out in town when they know it's safe. And, I think that's a big part of it as well.
Now, do you see that the feral horse population in 195 affecting the deer herd over there?
Yeah. I couldn't tell you the last time I flew over 195 and I saw a deer.
Yeah,
I fly it for sheep every other year, but it's been years since I saw deer in there. The BLM now estimates, and they're not BLM horses.
mm-hmm.
Almost all of them are on private property, but BLM still surveys it, and they estimated at 4,000 horses in that unit. So yeah, that definitely had an effect on deer herds. I mean, the only deer really in 195, and you talk to the Story County cab guys, they see a few of them, very few, in the Flowery Range and places like that. They have a lot of in-town deer.
Mm-hmm.
Union City. And then down, on the river, Truckee River. A few down in there, that's about it.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Thank you.
You guys did you want any information on 291?
Sure, since you're here.
Well, yeah, I'll touch on that and then give you an update on a couple of things. We had not flown surveys in the pine nuts since the spring of 2002. That was before I took over deer management for this position. Wall Mandeville was the last one to fly. And that was due simply to the immense, the density, high density of pinyon juniper in that unit. And it just wasn't worth the survey time and the dollars to fly over a bunch of trees. You can't see the deer anyway. He quit flying back in 2002. Some effects from the bison fire and numerous other fires in there, and then the pine nut land health project that's been going on for 15 years, cutting down PJ and habitat improvement. Deer started to kind of rebound. The last 4 or 5 years, I think it was 2021, thereabouts, we adjusted the population estimate to reflect that. And without a survey, all our estimates and all our quotas are based on hard statistics solely. So with the increasing deer herd, we've been thinking about flying it again and talked the powers be into letting us fly this spring. Counted 135 deer, scattered, not a whole lot, right, but scattered from north to south, east to west. And with really good fawn ratios. Fawn ratios up to about, I think they were 48 per 100 adults, which is really good. We really want to get a good fall survey, and so that's planned this fall, probably November. Really want to get a good fall survey so we can get that buck ratio. And then once we get a buck ratio established by survey, then we'll be able to create a model for that unit. Probably fly it from here on out would be my guess. Harvest statistics are good. That area's got great success rates the last 2 or 3, 4 years. Good 4-point class representation. But I don't want to shoot it out. And we recommended a lower quota last year, and the commission increased it a little bit. Recommending a lower quota again this year. All of the anecdotal reports that I get from hunters are that they're seeing fewer old range bucks this year than in past years. And I'm talking to guys that go out and hunt it with other people every year. So I just want to. It's a herd that's looking good. I don't want to go in there and blow it out. So recommending a reduction of, I think, 10 tags in that unit for any legal weapon, just to be on the safe side. Give it a couple more years of good production.
Good, thank you.
And at some point before I leave, I want to give you guys an update with how it goes on sheep in 195 and then turkeys in the pine nuts.
Go ahead and
Oh, turkeys and the pine nuts.
do that right now because we're on 9M anyways that has the sheep. Yep, so let's just continue going.
All right, well, sheep in 195, it's not a huntable unit, you guys know that. We put, just for background, back in 2011, yes, sir?
Would you mind turning your mic on, please? I don't think this is getting picked up.
How's that?
Yeah, better, thank you.
Okay, sorry. Back in 2011, we put 53 sheep into Unit 195 on Lance Gilman's property. And over the course of, right about then, we put in 2 guzzlers on Clark Mountain. And then the following year or two, we put another guzzler in the Gooseberry Hills, and then a guzzler over on the EP mine. So 4 water sources. That population is now estimated at about 218. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but the ram to ewe ratio is like 70 or 80. John Ivonic, the Washoe County biologist, we've been out 2 or 3 times this spring looking at sheep just from the ground, and just ram groups everywhere. 3 and 4 year olds. Yeah, there's some real bomber rams in there, but just tons of younger age class ram groups scattered all over that mountain. The Derby Hills, both sides of the Derby Dam mountain, in the EP mine, and then over on Clark Mountain. So really pleased with how those sheep are doing. But again, the horses, we're seeing more and more. It used to be the sheep could get up on that Derby Dam mountainside and get away from the horses. Now we're seeing horses up
Yeah,
there.
up high.
Yeah. And of course, the private companies out there continue to feed and water the horses. So it's not helping. And the range conditions reflect that.
Right.
Turkeys and the pine nuts. I don't know if I gave you guys an update last year, but a year ago, March, it's kind of been on the works for a while, but a year ago, March, we got 36 turkeys from Utah for the pine nuts. There's a whole bunch went into the eastern region. The 36 comprised a lot of Toms and Jakes in that group. We released them on the east side of the pine nuts, kind of on the east slope of Como, Mount Como. And we had, Paul Howell from the Douglas County Cab was keeping an eye on them for a while. Found their roosting trees. They kind of hung out in between the pine nuts and the buckskins and some of that stuff for a while, and then they just disappeared. This year, I was supposed to get 50 more, and trapping conditions in Utah just weren't favorable. I ended up with 26, but every single one of them was a hen. So we were really hoping that they would hook up with all the birds from last year, all those toms. We had a couple backpack transmitters on 2 of these hens, so we're able to follow them. One of the transmitters failed just right off the get-go. The other one is still working, and we've been out 2 or 3 times looking at those birds. They're very close to where we released them, and happy to say that we were able to find them in a big group with at least 5 toms from last year's release. So, and then I talked to a property owner out there who didn't know she was supposed to report it, but last summer, she said that they would sit in their lawn chairs and watch little hens with turkey poults running around last summer. So we're getting some reproduction, which is great.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
And I'll add that they're a Merriam's cross, so they're more of a forested type bird.
Okay.
And so they're staying up where we put them and not going down into those Smith Valley pivots, which was another worry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really good news there.
It's a huge success. Hey, just, no, maybe not your area, but have you heard anything in regards to the transplants and the health that occurred in the Klein Alpine?
No, I haven't, sorry.
No, that's, yeah,
No.
I'm just curious.
Good? Anything else?
No, I'm good. No, I was good. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Do I hear a motion to support 9M in the quotas being proposed?
I'll make a motion to support 9M as the quotas are written.
Do I hear a second?
I second that.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Passes unanimously. All right, moving on to consent agenda item 9N, Commission Regulation 26-12, 2026 Black Bear Quotas. Go ahead, Kurt, if you want to bring this up.
Get to it. I'm still scrolling. There we go. There we go. There wasn't any change from last year, correct?
Nope. No change, and we even had that conversation. Sorry, I think that might have been for you, Carl, but
No, that's fine.
yeah, we had that previous conversation with, I forget the lady's name that comes here.
Oh, that was Becca that came
Yeah,
last year.
Becca, there
Yeah.
we go. Yep, and had that conversation with us, right? And pretty similar outcome that we normally ask. How many taken, how many harvest, any change, how many killed from vehicles, any effect, with the similar answers of more killed by vehicles than harvested and no effect on the population with increases. But I think we took the stance just because we've seen in the past that we were going to support what the quota was.
Mm-hmm.
What were the big bears for last year? Did we get any records?
Carl, I keep hurting all that, off the top of my head.
No, yeah, there were a couple bigger bears killed, but I don't know about any records.
All right.
I haven't seen that. The record book, their little show's coming up here the next week or so in Reno. But no, I don't recall anything gigantic.
All right.
Got anything else? Anything good for us on that?
No, Becca would be here, but she's down in Southern California.
For work or vacation?
Family matters, yeah. You guys hit on all the things. I mean, the population estimate, we're to that point with black bears in western Nevada where the population is just going like this. You know, it increased pretty substantially for a lot of years, and now it's just kind of stable. Slight uptick this year, which really doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything more than the slight downtick last year. Just the way stable populations go. 12 bears killed in the hunt, 28 bears killed by cars. Touch on that point. More females last year than males, but we're still, our harvest rates for both males and females is still down in that 2% mark. It just, we're not touching the population at all. If you wanted to affect the population, you know, you'd have to be hunting bears in the magnitude of 10 to 15% at least. You guys saw the black bear report. It's got application hunt numbers and all that. All those metrics just keep on climbing every single year. More and more people applying for it. Yeah. Unless you have some questions.
No, I'm
I don't.
Me? No, I'm good.
We've had enough with
Yeah,
Carl and
nope,
Becca and all of them on the conversations.
I'm good. Thanks.
It'll just be Becca from here on out. I'm done in July, so,
Oh, congratulations.
yeah.
I highly recommend it.
Well, do I hear a motion to approve 9N as written?
I motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say nay. All right, passes unanimously. Thanks, everyone. That'll close out the consent agenda item number 9. Moving on to number 10 for discussion only. The Carson City Advisory Board to Manage Wildlife will discuss members' commitment to the meetings on May 8th and 9th, 2026 in Reno, and June 26th and 27th, 2026 in Winnemucca. Do we have any takers?
If Rob's not going to go, I can make the 8th.
Anyone on the 9th?
I'm working that day, so
Yeah, I'm tied up all weekend.
taking the overtime.
But I looked at the agenda on the 9th and it was like 2 items.
Okay, so it looks like we got May 8th and 9th covered. If anything, I'll try to make it a point. I'll reach out to
Watch it.
Rob and just listen to it or something.
Yeah.
Or if I'm in the Reno area, I guess go up there. Anyone for the June 26th and 27th in Winnemucca?
That's way too far out.
Way too far out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make the June 26th and 27th in Winnemucca. So we'll have to talk to Rob. Doris, you want to go?
Probably not.
Have you been to Winnemucca?
No, I've been to Winnemucca, but
They also have a bass restaurant out there. That's
I know
pretty
they
good.
do. It's a good one too.
All right, we'll leave May 8th and 9th covered. We'll touch on the 26th and 27th, probably in our June meeting beforehand, just to confirm what we've got going. Perfect. Thanks, everyone. And then we'll move on to item number 11 for discussion only. Future agenda items. Did anyone on the board have future agenda items?
I don't have any.
Nope. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to item number 12, the final public comment. Any public comment in person? Any online? All right. Seeing no public comment, we'll go ahead and close this out and then move on to the final action. Do I hear a motion to adjourn the May 4th Carson State Advisory Wildlife Management Board meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I think I read it same time.
Say aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes unanimously. Closed at 6:12 p.m. Thank you, Zach.